Hello, welcome to Chef Richard Kitchen. I'm Chef Richard Miller. Today we're going to be making another seafood dish. This one, another one's good for any time you want. It's got a more south of the border, shall we say, flair to it. And what we're going to be making today are octopus tacos with a pineapple salsa. So, anyway, let's get started. A lot of people have asked me, is octopus edible? Is it poison? No, it's not like puffer fish or anything like that. In fact, if you think about it and if you taste it, it's extremely mild. It's a very mild fish. It's very good. You can fix it a lot of ways, and today is going to be one of them. I fixed it once, kind of a Spanish influence on there, more of Spain, and it was done with a red wine vinegar, and it came out very, very good. So I thought what I'd do is I just try a different variation of it. Personally, I like it. Will you do or not? That's kind of up to you, but let's go ahead and let's see. First thing we want to do is we want to bring some water to a boil. And I want to add some salt because we're going to be boiling our octopus in the initial stages of cooking. We want to cook it with this, and then right after it's just done, what we want to do is we want to take it out and we want to put it into a saute pan, and we want to saute it, with some Mexican spices, and then make tacos out of them. So the first thing we want to do is, I don't know if you can see it on here, I will put it under the detail camera. You can actually see the little suckers on the tentacles. You don't want real small tentacles. You want them probably between a half an inch and an inch in diameter, somewhere around in there. And what I did was, when I washed this, I went ahead and discarded the head and the sack and the little small ends of the tentacles, and just kept the parts that I wanted. All right. So okay, these were cold, so when I dropped them in the boiling water, of course, it took the water temperature down. But what I'm going to do is, let me see what our temperature is. About 180. Yeah, it's down. It's down a bit, but it's still in the cooking range. What I want to do is I want to leave it in here for about 15 minutes. Now one thing about octopus, as clam or a lot of your other shellfish or crustaceans or this and that, you don't want to cook them too hard. You don't want to cook them too long. The first time I cooked octopus, I cooked it in the smoker and I overcooked it. I'd rather have eaten my shoe. I mean, it had a good flavor, but it was so tough. So make sure you don't overcook it. Make sure you get it up to about 170 degrees, 180 degrees inside, but then again, don't overcook either. So, okay, it's been about 15 minutes, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pull one of these sections out. And right now, it's about 160 degrees. That's 170. I'm going to leave them in probably about another 5 minutes, something like that. And then we'll pull them out. The temperature probe went in there very, very easily, indicating that they're still very tender. We don't want to overcook them so they get too tough. Be right back. All right, let's try them again. That's about 180 some. So at this point, they're done. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to take them out and I want to put them in a bowl. All right, and as you can see under the detail camera here, once we boiled it, the purple on the outside skin, has a tendency, it darkens the water. It turns it a little bit red. That's perfectly normal. Now, here's a little bit of just kind of a little hint that I want to give. And some people might not really be used to octopus. And if you look, and I'm going to try and show it under the detail camera here. All right, you can see there's an awful lot of the suckers on here. What I would recommend, if you had seafood enthusiasts, leave them on. If you have some people that might look at that and get a little squeamish, what I would suggest, just take a pair of scissors and just trim them off. So that's all you need to do there. So let me go ahead and try one. Actually very good. Octopus is a very, very, very mild seafood, flavor, if any seafood flavor really at all. It's probably even milder than a scallop. So the only thing you have to really worry about there is what people's perceptions are, and not overcooking it. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to let that cool down a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and let's plan on making our salsa. So let me get set up and I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We're ready to make our salsa and our sauce. And one thing that I did do after I turned the camera off is I took the octopus and I took the scissors and cut it up into probably about a quarter, 3/8 inch pieces. Probably a quarter's better. And the reason I do that is, remember who I always tell you think about first when you're cooking. That's right, your guest. And some of those were about an inch, or so long, and maybe 3/4 inch in diameter. That's not what you really want to be putting in a taco for a guest. You want to cut it down into something smaller. And so I did, and that'll make it much, much easier for guests to eat. Now, I'm going to put just a little olive oil in here. And we're going to saute the octopus just a little bit. And remember, if you think you might have people that might be a little squeamish, you know, looking at a piece of meat that has the little suckers on it, remember, just take the scissors and clip them off. We'll just give it another minute here. Okay, let me go ahead and take the octopus out of the saute pan. Like this. Remember that beep, beep, beep you're hearing is just when I take, and the induction plate says there's not anything on it anymore. All right, now let me take just a little bit more olive oil, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to toast my tortillas. And while we do that, let's go ahead and make our sauce. And what this is, it's about 3 tablespoons. I probably got 4 in there. Of mayonnaise. By the way, this is just light mayonnaise. Probably a couple of teaspoons of sriracha sauce. A couple of teaspoons of lemon juice. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Let's go ahead and flip that. And go ahead and stir our sauce together here. I'm not going to make you wait for all 8 of these. In fact, I probably only do 4. Okay, right now let's go ahead and finish up our salsa, and then it's time to plate. I want to leave the pineapple off until last. But what I want to do is I want to take, and you may want to just put the octopus, put the sauce on, and then put the rest of the filling on the tacos. And that's fine. That's fine. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take about 1.5 cups of chopped cucumbers. And there's a little, I want to put about 1/4 cup, and that's a little bit more than 1/4, so I'll leave some out, of red onions. Probably about 3 tablespoons of chopped cilantro, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and I'm going to put in probably about 1 tablespoon of jalapeno. Now, this jalapeno that I'm using, I've de-seeded it and deveined it, and that's where most of the heat is. I don't want a lot of heat in there, because remember, I've got heat with the sriracha here. I don't want more with the jalapeno, but I kind of would like the fresh jalapeno taste in there. So that's the reason I'm putting that in. Now let's go ahead and put our sauce over the top of this. And let's just go ahead and mix it together. All right. Very good. You can taste the onion. You can actually taste the cucumber. You can taste the mayo, the sriracha. You can taste all of it, including the cilantro in there, and it all seems to blend very, very well. So, what let's go ahead and do now is let's go ahead and plate. We're going to assemble them. First thing we want to do is I've got this little taco holder. That's probably been one of the best investments I ever made, since I never could hold these things and get them right. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll put our taco shells down. I'm going to put a little bit of the salsa on the bottom, and that's just kind of to keep the octopus from moving out the side. All right. Now let's go ahead and put our meat. All right. Now we can put just a little more of our salsa. Like this. And now let's go ahead and put our pineapple on, because this is going to give it a fresh taste all unto itself. Okay, now to garnish this, Let's go ahead and put some fresh cilantro. I'm going to put a lime, and I'm going to put a lemon down there. And here we are. I'll put it under the detail camera so you can get a good look at it. And here we are. As unusual as it sounds, we've just made it octopus tacos with a pineapple salsa on it. Now, you say, how do I know it's going to be all right? Well, here's a moment of truth. There. Now, let's give it a try. Delicious. You can taste the octopus, but it's way in the back, which is where we want it. The big thing you taste in there is you taste the salsa, and especially the pineapple, because the sriracha gives it heat, but the pineapple turns around and balances it. The acid in the pineapple balances it, and it gives it a very sweet taste. So, all in all, it's a winner. Even though it seems unusual, octopus tacos are definitely something you can put on your list, especially during the Lenten season, and really, in fact, any season you want. They're really good, and I encourage you to make them. So, once again, please give this a try. Now, octopus can be hard to find fresh. You can probably get it from a seafood specialty shop. Fortunately, I've got an international market here in the East Side, Jungle Gyms, that has things like this. And every once in a while, they have octopus out there. And, I grab it. I like it. It's a very, very mild fish. So give it a try. See what you think. If you're adventurous, make it for guests. In the meantime, once again, thank you for having me. Thank you for watching. Please give this a thumbs up. And even more important, subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get notified every time I come up with a new recipe or post a new video. So, take care. God bless. Remember that cooking should always, always be fun. And I'll see you next episode. Bye for now.